I mean, let's be honest about it. And I gather, I didn't hear everything that was said on the show. I heard a lot of it, that you were kind of agreeing with me. I mean, that there are...
I finished the statement. And what happens is you have an editor in the back who says, okay, I need this done, knock it down to 12 seconds. They make decisions. But so I just finished the statements, and we all had the whole sound on tape right in front of us. So I would finish it, and everyone would give their opinion. That's pretty much the way the show's formatted.
Okay, but the question I'm asking you is, do you think what he said when he said that some, or typical white people, when they see, young black kids walking down the street, might have a different reaction? Honestly, I'm not whether that's right or wrong or whatever, or that they're racist, might have a different reaction than if they see several white people young white kids walking down the street.
If you're asking me personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I grew up in a situation being in sports, that especially in soccer, where almost every person on my team, I used to be called an American because I was one of the rare Americans playing the sport. So I was fortunate enough not to I don't have that cell in my body. So I see a group of black people walking to me all the time. A lot of times they're naked and going into the shower.
I don't know what to say about that, Brian.
But I'm just saying that, so I'm not a good person to ask.
No, I know. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is I don't think that was an offensive remark by him. I know some people are jumping on it and saying, look, I think there's a legitimate issue here, and Lord knows we and everybody in the media has talked about it at great length. I think the Jeremiah Wright thing raises issues. I'm not saying where I come down on it, raises legitimate questions about the judgment of Barack Obama.
Right.
I think it does. I think it raises questions about his patriotism because he was in a church where they were running down the country. I absolutely agree with that. I just thought that on a week or in a day when you've got the whole story about Obama and the passports, which is kind of shocking that the people in the government, contract employees in the State Department, were rooting around and looking at his files. When you've got Bill Richardson, who was a two-time appointee of the Clinton administration, endorsing Barack Obama.
Well, Chris, we did. I'm just to go over that. Fox Friends of the Morning Show on Fox News Channel. We did do that afterwards. There was the second talking point on our rundown every single hour. I didn't do the first hour today, but the next 2 hours. I think it is big, but a lot of times that just shows that we went back. Brian, I'm one of the hosts, and there's Gretchen Carlson, and then there's Steve Doocy. We went back and forth, and we ended up eating up a lot of the talking points because there was so much passion in there. But I kind of agreed with you in the dialogue. And when I walked into the morning at 4 a.m, it was the replay Eastern, and it was the replay of Brit Hume's show, and he threw it out to Fred Barnes, and ironically, the Beltway boys disagree with each other, and they went at it the whole time. And we felt as though we approached it the same way, and were kind of surprised. But I actually am honored that we had a real conversation on the air rather than off the air.
Well,
that you took it that way.
I've gotten some emails, and some people have said I thought that what I thought I said was great, and some people said they thought what I said was wrong. I have to say, I do think it's one of the good things about Fox News. I mean, we saw this with Geraldo and O'Reilly once.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it every week. I wouldn't want you sitting there every week editing my show. But if you came on my show, I mean, if I came on your show, because
I'll never be invited on yours,
and you said, well, that's true, and said, I thought you were off base the previous week. I think that's a sensible conversation to have. I think it's one of the things that makes Fox News different and better is that there isn't a party line, despite what our critics say, and that there are a bunch of people with a lot of different opinions who feel passionately about all these issues.
Yeah, and it's just so fascinating is that there's really no, even if you're a Republican or Democrat, we don't know, because this is one party fighting within itself. And the biggest names in the Democratic Party, from Rockefeller to Kerry to Kennedy and now Richardson, are saying, Barack Obama, you better win.
Well, and I got to say, I think it's a dramatic story. You have Bill Richardson. Bill Richardson was the Secretary of Energy.
I know.
In the Clinton administration. He was the UN ambassador, also the guy that Clinton asked to help hire Monica Lewinsky, if you remember, and bail him out of that. And he, is now going against the Clintons and backing at Obama at a key moment, and frankly, providing him something of a safety net when Obama's going through all of these Reverend Wright problems. I think it's pretty interesting and raises a question of what has he got against the Clintons. I mean, you can say, well, he loves the Obama, but he's got to really have something against the Clintons to have broken with them.
And let's be honest, Chris, it's over. I mean, the math says...
I don't agree with that.
But the math says he's going to win North Carolina. He's never going to win Pennsylvania. There's only 10 contests left. and now he's not going to have to redo Michigan and Florida.
Yeah, but here's where I disagree with you. The superdelegates, and there are enough superdelegates out there to put either of them over the top, if they are persuaded, as much as they feel passionately about Obama and Clinton, what they really feel passionately about is winning. And this is an if they're persuaded that one of these guys can beat McCain and the other one can't, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this right thing really ends up hurting Obama, and we look a month from now, and Obama is down 10 points to McCain, and Clinton is 5 points up over McCain. A lot of those superdelegates, I know that the popular vote and let every vote count and all of that. I think some of them are going to say, "The heck with it, I want to win."
Chris, but remember what Nancy Pelosi said, one of the leaders in the Democratic Party, whoever has the most delegates could get the nomination. She will not allow superdelegates. That's her quote, roughly, to paraphrase. Superdelegates will not overturn.
Well, she can't allow or not allow because it's an individual choice. I agree. That's what she said, that she thinks the superdelegates shouldn't overturn. But the superdelegates can do anything they want.
But goodbye youth vote. I'm saying for the Democratic perspective, goodbye youth vote and goodbye African Americans.
I agree. It's going to be devastating. The party is in a real fix. They really are in a fix, because I agree with you that in the math, Obama is going to end up at the end of June, or at the beginning of June when they have the final primaries and the final votes, with the most pledged delegates and the most popular vote. And if the superdelegates, but if you're a superdelegate and you look, and yes, he does have that mathematical advantage, but on the other hand, Clinton can beat McCain and Obama can't in the latest polls. Are they going to walk off the cliff with Obama?
We're going to have to see. Chris, who's on this weekend?
Let me ask you one quick question. How mad is Ducey at me?
He's mad.
Okay.
I'll be honest, he's very mad.
Well,
I personally, I don't think you can have a real relationship with somebody and not mix it up once in a while. I have no problem with, I think when you watch the show back, you might have a different opinion. At least I hope you do.
Okay,
but I have no problem with you coming out after me. I mean, to me, that you
different opinion.
No, right, but to me that gives that you have the respect enough to challenge me.
Well, good. That's how
I feel. But I'm in the minority on our show.
Well, and some of the executives. But let me just say, it was only meant in affection and respect.
Thank you, and that's why I took it.
Named to the coveted list of the best talk show hosts in America.
You're not aware of this?
Brian and the Judge.